Hey guys, VideoJames, and we're going to be looking at how to use Ampharos today. And in my opinion, Ampharos is absolutely just tank material. That this thing is slow, but it'll take a hit. So when you look at Ampharos, you just got the pure electric typing. And we see we already got that resistance to 3 types. Yeah, and damage normally by everything else except for ground, which ground gives us super effective. I don't want to say that electric is the most OP type, but, I mean, the evidence there kind of pits it against me. I can't really not say that electric is kind of the most OP type. There's literally no type except for ground that hits it super effective. And then we look at Ampharos' abilities. Static, okay, fine, yeah, that's going to end up doing more in Gen 7 now because we got more physical Pokemon. Because most of the ones that were introduced in Gen 7 in Sun and Moon actually were physical moves. I actually did do a count of that. Over half the Pokemon that were introduced in Gen 7 were more physical than special. So that's kind of a little tilted in the favor of defensive tanks. But anyway, we got Static for that 30% on a physical attack. And then we got Hidden Ability for Plus, that when battling with plus or minus Pokemon win a team, the special attack increases by 50%. So you got a Plusle on the field, or you got a Minun on the field, or a Klinklang, and you got an Ampharos, then as long as the other one has minus, you're basically set up that you're going to be getting an immediate 1.5 attack in the special. And then we know that Ampharos Mega Evolves and gets that glorious head of hair. That could be the next Tay-Swift. And then we see his move pool, and not really much suiting to his stats. That we've got Thunder Punch, Zap Cannon, Magnetic Flux, which actually works well with his hidden ability. We've got Dragon Pulse, Fire Punch, kind of not bad, especially since it's a Remember move and not a Tutor move. So that's one of the few that still stays around. That we've got Cotton Spore, raising that defense by... Or no, that's the Cotton Guard that does that. Cotton Spore lowers the opponent's speed harshly. I think harshly is a 1 stage. And then we got Charge, just to raise the electric stuff. Takedown, Electro Ball, which kind of does the opposite considering how slow Ampharos is, that Electro Ball does more damage the faster you are than the target. So it's like, Ampharos has that 55 base speed. What am I going to do with an Electro Ball? And then we see we got Confuse Ray, which was usually what you saw on an Ampharos before Gen, I think, 5? Because before then, Ampharos didn't really get much, but then once Gen 5 came around, basically got a whole bunch of stuff. And then we see we got Cotton Guard, raising our defense by 3, which is what drastically means. I think raising a stat, just normal raising a stat, is 0.5. Sharply raising is 1, and drastically is 3. So, using Cotton Guard, you would already get up to 3 out of the 4 that you can be 2. And then we see we got Signal Beam, Light Screen, kind of good for a tank that you're just setting up with it. And then we got moves like Toxic, which is actually really good on Ampharos because, again, you can just tank. And, that was a set I forgot to make. Because when I was making the sets earlier, I make my sets before I make the video, if you guys couldn't tell already, but when I was making a set earlier, there was one that I was forgetting, and I couldn't figure out what it was. It was a Toxic Substitute set. I'll have to make that later. Well, later in the video. But we've got Toxic, we got Hyper Beam, we got Light Screen to complement that Reflect. We've got Protect, we've got the 2 moves basically every electric type gets, Thunderbolt and Thunder. And then we've got stuff like Brick Break, Focus Blast, Charge Beam, which is actually really good, Volt Switch, and we got stuff like Substitute, Bulldoze, and Sleep Talk. And then the egg moves, we got stuff like Iron Tail. It's amazing how many physical moves an Ampharos gets, even though it's a special. That they're not really going to be doing anything. And we do have stuff like Electro Web and all that, but not going to be doing much again. And then when we look at the transfer moves, we got stuff like Power Up Punch, Electrical Web, Focus Punch, Outrage, Heal Bell, Snore, and it does also get access to Rest and I think Sleep Talk? Yeah, it gets access to Sleep Talk. I don't know why that didn't show up. Did Rest actually show up somewhere? Let me see. Rest. Yeah, rest right there. I'm stupid sometimes. Sorry. And then when we look at Ampharos' stats, like I said, tanky boy. That we've got 90 in the HP, 75 in the attack, 85 and 90 in the defenses, and then we've got a 115 special attack. And then our speed's just cut down to half that, with 55. No thanks. I'd rather have a higher speed and less tank, honestly, on an Ampharos. No, I wouldn't. I'd rather have the tank just to make people mad. Ampharos is an absolute tank. And then when we look at its Mega Evolution, Mold Breaker. Moves are not affected by foes' abilities during battle, which I think means it gets around Disguise. It should. Because I think I remember trying to fight Ampharos that had Mold Breaker with Disguise, or with Mimikyu, and it broke through to Disguise. Which is also what I hate about Solgaleo and Lunala's signature moves, is that they get around it too. And then we see when he Mega Evolves, that we do gain that weakness to Ice and Ground, or not Ice and Ground, Ice and Dragon and Fairy, so we do have to kind of be a little wary. And then we see his stats, he just gets a buff to his attack, making it go to 95. We get 105 in the defense, 110 in the special defense, 165 in the special attack, and like Heracross, Ampharos also loses speed, going down to 45. And then when we look at Showdown, we see we've got pretty much just basic tank sweep stats. That we've got the Choice Specs stats. Now you can use Life Orb here, or you can use Assault Vest. I kind of chose Choice Specs just because you can already get that high special attack. Why not make it even higher? And then we've got the Static ability just because Plus isn't really going to do anything for us here. And then we've just got Dragon Pulse, Thunder, Power Gem, and Volt Switch. And that's kind of the problem with Ampharos, is coverage. That when you look at an Ampharos' moveset, while it does have physical moves that cover it, they aren't really that strong, and they're not really going to be able to take care of what they need to. And then we look at the specials, and it's like, okay, where'd all my coverage go? Did I just lose all my coverage? And then when we look at the stats, basic, just 252 in the HP, 252 in the special attack, modest nature, and then throw that extra remaining stuff into one of the defenses. Whichever you want. I just threw it into defense just because it's lower. And then we see another Ampharos set is the Resto-Chesto combo, which many people find incredibly annoying. So, basically this one is, we've got Cotton Guard, we've got Rest, we've got Charge Beam, and we've got Dragon Pulse. So, Cotton Guard, get our defenses up super high if the opponent doesn't manage to kill us next turn. Then we pull off a Rest, get back our health, and then we just go into Charge Beam once we wake up from the rest with our Chesto for the first time. And then just Charge Beam over and over unless we want to use Dragon Pulse. And the problem with this set, I do always have a problem with Resto-Chesto sets, is that Resto-Chesto combo only works once. So after that, it's kind of like you're putting yourself in a danger zone. But this set does actually work because of Ampharos' tankiness. That with Ampharos having that tank and being able to raise his defense, he's going to be able to survive a lot more. And when we look at the stats, again, for this one, not really sweep as much tank, that we've got 90 in the HP, so we're boosting that completely to max. That we've got the special defense at 90, so we're boosting that. And then since we got the Cotton Guard, we don't really need to throw stuff into defense. I did, just because with defense boost, you're kind of getting to where you need to. And at the same time, with the Cotton Guard, you're just becoming absolutely OP. And then just throw on a Calm Nature, because with Careful, you're not really going to be able to do anything, because that's lowering your special attack. And that's not really going to be beneficial for us. Why can I not talk today? I keep messing up words. And then we move on, this set, basic kinda just sweep tank again, that this one is kind of a double set, as you can tell by the Magnetic Flux and Discharge. And we've also got the Air Balloon on Ampharos this time. Did I say what yeah, Resto-Chesto. That we've got the Air Balloon on him this time. So we're not getting hit by our one weakness, and we have to get hit by something else to be able to weak to that. And then we've got Magnetic Flux, that Kling Clan also gets access to that. So you could get a double Magnetic Flux one turn and raise your defenses by 1. And then we just got Rest and Sleep Talk just to get the health back and at the same time do a little bit of more attack. And then we just got Discharge to hit all the enemies and with that chance to paralyze. That with Discharge, we're not only making up for the amount of enemies, but we're also making up for a lack of Paralyzed Tactic now. And then we move on to the Mega Sets, and that we've got Basic Sweeper again. That Ampharos isn't going to be fast, but he's going to be beefy. That we've got the max HP going to 384. Yes, I said the nature for that one. That we've got the max HP going to 384. Got the max special defense going up to 471. And then we just throw on the modest nature and defense. And bada bang, bada boom, we done. And like I said, Ampharos coverage is a very big problem. That we don't really have much coverage, and even with a boosted 95 attack, we're not going to be hitting the mark we need to. That we need to have a choice band with our Mega Stone to be able to do anything. And then we got moveset, basic, Dragon Pulse, and Thunderbolt just for damage, Power Gem, coverage over those ice types, and then just Volt Switch to get out if there's a Fairy type or a Ground type. That we can't really do anything to them, so we just gotta switch out. And I just realized Volt Switch wouldn't affect the Ground type. Regard that last order. Do not execute Order 66. And then for the second Ampharos set, we got a kind of healer set, I would say, is what I categorize this as. That with this set, we're kind of just raising our defenses and healing our team of all status, so that if we got something like Toxic Spikes or... what else would be bad? Oh, if we're running into a Salazzle. Then we just heal Bell, get rid of all the poisons, all the paralyzes, all that good stuff. And then we just throw out a substitute first turn just to get that sustain. And then we just got Thunderbolt for basic damage. You could put Dragon Pulse. I put Thunderbolt just because it works a little better. And then, like I said, there is another Ampharos set I forgot. This can kind of work with either of them. That's the thing about Ampharos, is that any of its sets can almost work for both of them. But then we've got the Ampharos set. And then we've got the... crap, what was it? It was Substitute Toxic, that's what it was. It was Cotton Guard Substitute Toxic. Cotton Guard... Nope, not Cotton Gag. Cotton Guard Substitute Toxic Rest. There we go. And then, probably, I would say... what would be good for this set? Probably a Lumberry, if anything. No, because we got Rest. Citrus Berry. Citrus Berry would work. That way we don't have to use Rest first turn. Static, probably again. And then just max out the HP. Max out the special defense. And throw on the Calm Nature. God, this is the first time I've ever forgotten something. But yeah, this is basically the other set I was talking about, that with an Ampharos being as tanky as it is, you could run to where you get a substitute Toxic set, that with one Cotton Guard, your defense is reaching godly levels, so you just throw out a substitute, take those few hits, Toxic, and if you manage to get to low health, Rest, and for the EVs, you just max them out in the HP and special defense, throw on a Calm Nature, and just put the other 4 wherever you want. And that's going to be it for how to use Ampharos. He is actually one of my favorite Pokemon from Soul Silver, that I actually think I used to have one of him on my team, as well as a Sceptile. But anyway, I'm leaving this episode here. If you guys have any Pokemon you want me to do videos on, again, leave them down in the comments. You guys know I'm always looking for those. And if you like this video, then slap the like button as always, and I will see you guys later.